Little has been known about the upcoming Marvel film Doctor Strange, other than who some of the key players are. Now, the film's director of photography, Ben Davis, is giving us a little bit of insight into what we can expect from the film. In a recent interview with Screen Daily, Davis said the following: "Most of the work within it is about other dimensions, and I described it, I think, when I was talking to Marvel as Marvel's Fantasia in a way, because it's so sort of out there and different to everything else that they've done. There's a lot of previsualization, and there's a lot of work which is very hard. You look at it and you see the imagery that they've created for it, and you think, well, how the hell do we shoot that?" Jeanette Byers sell Ben Davis's comments about Doctor Strange.
I love these comments so much. Being a giant Doctor Strange fan, hearing that just makes me so excited to know that they're going to go into all these different dimensions. And if you are not familiar with Doctor Strange, Google Doctor Strange and then Steve Ditko, and you'll see what we're talking about. These kinds of crazy imagery that were in the comics in the 60s, and that a whole bunch of other artists and writers just expounded upon and added to. You'll see the mindless ones. You'll see Dormammu's realm. You'll see the hoary hosts of Hoggoth if you're lucky. But it's so creepy and strange and weird and trippy. So to know that they're comparing this to Disney's Fantasia, what that comparison is basically saying, we're going to go to all these different realms, all these different styles in this film. We're going to go to all these different dimensions. So I'm beyond excited.
I'm very curious to see, you know, the way they describe this. Well, first of all, already this Disney and Marvel have lost Mark Ellis by calling it their Fantasia. But I mean, I'm rabidly curious because when they start talking about all this wild stuff, it's mostly other dimensions. It's like, really? Mostly other dimensions? Like, even when they did the first Thor, they thought, okay, we want to show Asgard and some other realms, but we got to keep our feet planted on Earth. Because I remember that one quote, we got to keep our feet planted on Earth. It sounds like this. This is mostly going to be other dimensions. We're going to be all this kind of wild stuff. So it's going to be really cool to see how they form this movie and yet make it feel like an integrated part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's going to be the key to making this work. And if they can do that, and I'm sure they've got a plan, then it's going to work on fire on all energy. So I'm excited. And what it continues is that the last two Marvel films have been the most unique films. With Captain America Winter Soldier, which was a very unique film with its very distinct style, time like 70s thriller. Then you got Ant-Man, which is very much a heist film. Now we're going to talk Doctor Strange, which is going to be really apparently very different from anything else they've done too. They're changing things up, and that's always a risk. But Marvel takes risks. What do you think?
Yeah, I buy them as well too. And I was going off your point. That's I would argue that the last three. I mean, even throwing in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is space opera.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
They're sticking to their mantra. Is where we are going to wherever the world of these comics were set and what made them popular, we're not only going to do that for films, but we're also going to show you that Marvel as a brand does different genres of film. Look who they brought in to direct this thing. You know, as far it's Derrickson, and to have him with that horror background and setting up other dimensions. And I think that they almost gave you that preview in Ant-Man of what it's going to look like too, because there's a part in the movie in Ant-Man to where they even tease that other dimension, I think. So when you have them already giving you a little bit of tease of that, and then you're going to have someone like Cumberbatch doing this movie, he fits in great to the other dimensions already. I think he lives in another dimension. He's great. So, I think these comments are amazing, because that's what I want to see from a Doctor Strange. Strange. I want to see strange stuff happening in a strange movie. Yeah. So I'm all for it. I love the comments.
Schnepp, if you had to guess, though, like the style they're going to go for in this, which direction do you think Marvel's going to take as far as style goes for a Doctor Strange? And what would you like to see them do?
I would like to see, like you mean as far as how they portray the dimensions?
Yeah.
I would love to see like a kaleidoscopic type of, almost like certain dimensions can be almost like, that 60s, 70s acidy type of, multi-filtered, composited, kind of super trippy kind of stuff. And then other dimensions can be very Escher-esque. I mean, I think by going into these different styles that we just, we're familiar with already from all the hundreds and thousands of years of art and different styles. When we even talk about like, Dadaism, or you could say Dali, and you instantly think of like, a melting clock with, a giraffe on fire and all this other weird imagery. You could say these different things about abstract art, and people instantly have an idea of what you're in your mind, what you're familiar with. So I think Doctor Strange, by going and tapping into that Steve Ditko kind of trippy artwork from Marvel that he created, they already have this entire world. And then now it's just deciding how they're going to how they're going to bring it to life. How are they going to portray it? Will we go totally trippy and acidy for this thing, and Dormammu's world will be more solid and kind of almost like sinister, like, you know, realistic and creepy but upside down? You know, we don't know, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think they're gonna have a lot of fun making this film.